Hello, lovely people. Welcome to Philanthropic February, day 10. I'm Nicola. This is Stitches and Slapdashery. And I hope you've been following along because I've been having a lot of fun this month making things for other people. And yesterday's thread bowl little session with my friends in the afternoon was so fun. And that water-soluble stabilizer was just amazing. You dip it in the hot water and poof, it's gone. Just like magic. If you haven't already entered the giveaway, go back and see day 7's video, because in there I have some instructions on how to enter and comment on that video to win some toadstool earrings. You won't have a chance to win if you don't leave a comment. I do have to work later on this afternoon. I have to leave the house at 12:15, so that gives me a little bit of time to get started on the projet du jour, which is some small snap pouches. I've been meaning to make something with snaps because I bought a long time ago, I bought a whole ton more cam snap type things. I have hundreds of them in different colours. Quite the collection in here. And so, because it's always so easy and quick and fun to use cam snap type things, I am going to make a little pouch today. Well, I'm actually going to make 6 of them because this is going to be another thing I'm making for the silent auction for the festival in September. So I've already cut my fabric. I'll link to the tutorial underneath. I'm not going to show you step by step how I make them because this is not my invention. This is not my idea. And you can just go watch her video. It's a free tutorial. It's so easy and quick. It's crazy how quick and easy it is. All you have to do is find 2 fabrics that coordinate. These ones, I think I was given these because I don't normally go for pastels. But there's a lovely blue and pink floral and a pink with feathers on. So the floral fabric is going to be the pockets of the pouch, and this feather will end up being the flap. So that's why I have chosen pink snaps to go with that. Also got some pink thread. So I just need to load up a bobbin and get started on that. Of course, all my stuff is over there because I'm using my, what do you call it? Extension table. That's right. Whenever I use the extension table, I'm like, why don't I always have this on here? It's such a nice surface to work on. But I think one of the things that annoys me about it is that it tends to slip. So sometimes when I knock it, it might kind of shove an inch to the left, and then I have to whack it back into place. Or one of the little legs pops inwards and it slumps in one corner. Apart from that, it's great. I don't know why, honestly, I just threaded my machine, and what I needed to do was just put it around that little screw at the top so I can fill the bobbin. So what's it? February the 10th. Wow. We're over a third of the way through Philanthropic February. Do let me know if you're making anything at all this month. I'd love to know what sort of crafts you're making. Whether you've got something on the go that you can watch YouTube to. Sometimes it's nice to have a craft project in hand when you're watching YouTube videos because you can listen to them just as much as you can watch them, can't you? So if you're knitting anything, crocheting anything, sewing anything, slow stitching maybe, I am a little impatient to start slow stitching something again. Because of the nature of slow stitching, it's probably not the best thing to start this month because I am trying to bust out as many things for other people as possible. So maybe the slow stitching will have to wait till March, unless I see a particularly amazing idea. Actually, having said that, I did mention yesterday that I had bought and downloaded the fabric vessel tutorial from Anne Wood, and I did, oops, nearly knocked my glass of water off the table there. I did start making one before my friends showed up, but then of course when they got to my house we started in on the thread bowls, so I only got as far as applying 2 pieces of fabric to the base, but maybe I can get more of that done over the course of the month, just in between the other things. I'm just having to change all my fabrics so that they're all facing right side up, because when I had the fabric folded and I was slicing it up, of course you get half of them which are upside down. I'm pretty sure these fabrics came in a pile that I was given, because yeah, I do tend to gravitate towards the very bright stuff, and these are very soft colours but very pretty. So I'll tell you a bit more about what I'm doing in a minute. I just need to do the bobbin, which might be a bit noisy. I've already ironed my fabric, so these pink ones are fine as they are, but the floral ones need to be ironed in half. Because they are going to be the pockets of this little pouch. And I did remember to choose a print that was not a one-way, so I don't have to worry about it ending up upside down. Now that my little pocket pieces are folded, I can round off all the corners on these pink pieces. I'm just going to use this thread spool as my template. And a friction pen. I could probably freehand that, but probably neater if I don't. So what the video showed to do was just to curve the corners on one of the pieces, because you're putting them back to back and you can follow the line of the edge just on the one side that you've trimmed, so you don't really need to trim them all until afterwards. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 5. Apparently I cannot count. So as long as I've taken the curve off one, I can then fold it this way and trim it. And then I can fold it that way and trim it. Doesn't have to be perfect. because it's the stitching line that's going to make the exact curve, which will smooth out any irregularities. There, now my corners are all rounded off on that piece, and I just have to do the same with the other 5. Now that I've curved all my edges, it's just a case of stacking them for sewing. Honestly, this is ridiculously easy, this design. It's basically one seam and one tiny bit of top stitching. That's it. Very quick and easy. Where did my pins go? I think I've got a sewing machine needle mixed in there somewhere. I mustn't forget it's there. Oh, I think that's it there. At least while it's on the magnet, it shouldn't fall on the floor and get lost into the carpet. So that's one ready for sewing. Now it's time to sew. Except I don't have I don't have a foot on my machine. Whoops. I finished sewing the 6 of them around, except for a turning gap at the top edge. So now I am going to trim my seam allowances. And then I think I'm going to have to put this aside for the afternoon, because I need to do a couple more things before I go to work. I've got the person from the women's organisation coming to get the totes from me this afternoon while I'm at the store. So that'll be good to have handed those over. And then I'll have to come home, have some dinner, and then I can flip these to the right side. Give them a nice little iron. And just top stitch that top flap and put a snap on. And that's all 6 of them pinked and ready for the next step. So I think a good thing to do next would be see if I've got time for another cup of tea and one of yesterday's oatmeal raisin cookies. Brush my teeth, put my lenses in, and get to work. It's evening time. I have had my dinner. I am feeling very sleepy. And if it wasn't for finishing up this video, I would probably be dozing on the couch right now. I am just going to do my little bit of top stitching. I'm going to use a little thread bunny because what I want to do is have long tails at the beginning and end of my sewing on this top stitching, or I might get a thread nest on there. So that's what I'm going to do. This fabric is so pretty. I didn't think I was into pastels, but you know what? Maybe I am after all. Oops. I went so close to the edge there, I nearly fell off. That's not good, is it? One thing I do like about these curved blades is that you're less likely to cut your fabric when you're trimming threads. So that is good. So I'm going to do that to all 6 of them, and then all I have to do is add a snap. I was making so many bags a couple of years ago. I think I spent the first half of the year, I wasn't working at the time, and I spent the first half of the year sewing like a mad thing to make things for the market. And then I didn't do very well in the end. I ended up getting left with a lot of inventory. In fact, I thought I'd got rid of more of it, but I still have a bag full of it under my table here. So what's cute about these little pouches is that there's a little pocket that you are able to snap shut, and then there's another little pocket on the back. What you could do is, if you just push this through, you could have 2 pockets that are closed by the snap. On the video, she showed putting money in here and some sort of card in the back. Either way, I think it's really cute. So let's line this up. Oh, no, that goes in the other side. How many times have I almost put it in the wrong way around? Oh, I love it. I love it a lot. I could probably have folded it over more than that. Oh no, it just popped right out. That's never happened to me before. Okay, guess I didn't squeeze it hard enough. That was weird. That's never ever happened to me before. All right, now it's done. Yeah, they hold like the devil when they work properly. Yeah, what I was just saying when I just managed to pull this whole thing apart is that I could have made that fold slightly closer over the top and put that down there. But then if you put anything in here that creates bulk, then you probably want to have that little bit of extra room. So it's probably a good thing. Now to do the rest. My little pouches are done. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was just going to measure it, see what the finished size was, so that you know. It's about 4.5 inches, which is about just over 11 centimeters by 4 inches or 10 centimeters. I think that's rather lovely. Yeah, I don't know what went on with that first one I did, but I obviously didn't squeeze the snap in properly, and when I opened it up again, popped out. That has not happened to me before. I have had a couple of situations where I have squeezed them in and the little piece of plastic that's supposed to flatten right inside the snap to hold it on has squished wonky, like sideways, and so then the little round part doesn't fit into the little receiving part properly, and then you have to try and rip it out and do it again, and that is incredibly difficult because these things go in so firmly as a rule. So yeah, you open up the snap and you've got a little pocket and then a little pocket on the back. And I'm glad I left a little bit of the contrast colour sticking out on the outside. So not only do you see the contrast fabric, but it gives you a little bit more room for putting more in the pocket, I think. Totally intentional, she says, lying through her teeth. Anyway, there are 6 more little items ready for the silent auction in September. I can put that on the pile with that denim and lace bag I made the other day and the 6 book sleeves I made before that. Yep, I really like those. So that's me for today. All done. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you tomorrow.